Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke. And today we have Chihiro sharing with us on this Sunday, the 5th of December, the 2nd of November, and the 9th year of Chongyoguk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parent, Chariot, Kyombe, Haro. And let's offer our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 1. 전일국 주인, 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연 땅을 찾아 본연의 찬조 이사인 지산 천국과 천산 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 1. Our family, the owner of Chongyoguk, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation by centering on true love. And I'd like to ask Elise Hansen if she could offer the opening prayer.
Good morning. Let's pray. Our beloved Heavenly Parent, to parents of heaven and earth and all mankind, thank you so much that we can come together as community and start through our Hondoke together. And especially in this time, it's so precious, the guidance with the Reverend Yamada and together with Reverend John is providing through this Hondoke together as a community. And thank you so much that over this year when we could attend every morning Hondoke, that more and more I really feel it so deeply how each one of us could be resurrected in our hearts, in our minds, in our encouragement to be dedicated to Mother's way of helping us to really understand that everyone is part of Chongyoguk, really. So we had the privilege to be already called from an earlier age. And now is the time that each one of our world family is called to respond to you. And as you work within our hearts, and as you guide us every day, really through how we can fulfill our own responsibility. Thank you so much for this guidance, and that you're constantly helping us to understand that we always have been part of your heart. Just now we have the privilege to reconnect every day through our daily activities and through whatever you want us to do to fulfill, so that finally the reunification of North and South Korea can actually happen. And that's going to be the first step to a deeply realization of how the Chongyoguk is going to look like, how everybody can be part of that and contribute through the daily activities. So thank you so much that we can be part of this incredible world-changing situation, what is happening now. And thank you so much for Reverend Your Mother's dedication and the incredible commitment to really help us to reconnect. And thank you so much for this time and this dedication ceremony, really. I offer this prayer in the name of Craig and Lily Hansen, Blessed Center Family, R2.
Adieu. And good morning, everyone, and let's give a warm welcome to Chihiro as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, brothers and sisters. Once again, I'm very honored to be asked to give a testimony this morning. So I hope I can share briefly but deeply possible. Some contents I'm not sure because it's quite long time ago. I don't remember much memory, so please forgive me if any detailed things may be a bit wrong. But yes, I ask you with a big heart. So first of all, I would like to read through Father's short passage, short message from the Cheonseongyong, Book 8, Life of Faith and Training, Chapter 2, Section 3, Training in Faith. Rivers flow into the ocean. The earthly world is similar to a river, while the spirit world is similar to the ocean. Every human being goes to the spirit world. Freshwater fish die if they are suddenly thrown into salt water. They suffocate. The freshwater fish first need to acclimatize. The Unification Church trains people on earth for life in the spirit world. It is the training center of true love, where members learn to live for others with love. The Unification Church is also the training center that aims to develop the substance of love, which is living for others. God lives for the sake of others. Therefore, the person who has love for others is welcome wherever he goes or she goes. No opposition arises against such a person. Okay, so yeah, today I'd like to share my life course, particularly in this region, Oceania. Since I came to Oceania 1987, I arrived in New Zealand first time in 1987, and then I was missionary there for about 3-4 years, and then I moved to Australia as also missionary, and then later on I was assigned to go to Samoa and Tonga and Solomon Islands. So I have many things to share if I have a time, but the time is very short. So I want to focus mainly my missionary work in Samoa and Tonga and Solomon Islands. So just let me introduce myself just briefly. I joined the church in Japan in 1977, and I joined the church when I was first year of university through CUP. Then about 5 years later, 1982, I was blessed, much blessed with my wife, Mandy. She's from New Zealand. And then that was the beginning point that I start to connect with Oceania. So if I was not much blessed with my wife, I will not be connected to Oceania at all. So a blessing is really my big turning point of my life. So first of all, I want to share my blessing photo. This is just the left-hand side photo is just after the matching. In 10th of October, 1982, just right after True Father matched us, and we greeted each other and we agreed to be matched. And then only about 4 days later, 14th of October, we attended the blessing ceremony. So it was really speed matching and speed blessing. Only we met less than 1 week, and then we decided to go forward to the blessing. So this photo is just after before the entertainment, after the blessing, before the entertainment started. Sorry, I didn't have a blessing photo with gown, but this is only available photo. Anyway, then about 5 years later, I have the strong calling from God that I want to go to my wife's country, which is New Zealand. That's not only to meet that, not only that I want to meet my wife, but I want to develop myself and in a different country. So I felt somehow it's my calling by God to go to overseas to work and experience as a missionary. So even my leader agreed to send myself to go to New Zealand. So I arrived in New Zealand in February 1987. And as I said before, I have lots of things to mention, so I don't have much time. So I want to omit about New Zealand, Australia, but it doesn't mean that I don't like New Zealand, Australia. I really love New Zealand, brothers and sisters. There are so many wonderful brothers and sisters. So like Kathy, she's really, we worked together, and Reverend Prentice, many older members were there, and we really slept each other, ate each other, witnessing each other, fundraising each other. So I have lots of good memories in New Zealand. And then 1990, I moved to my continental director called our family to move to Australia. So we moved to Australia just before my son was born. So that time my wife was pregnant, and our son was born just the following year, 1991. So also I have a lot of good memory in Australia. I'm still here in Australia. So, but my focus is 3 nations: Samoa, Tonga, and Solomon Islands. So I just wanted to focus on these mission nations. So the reason I was assigned to Samoa was that when Europeans came to Oceania first time in 1992, Father really concerned about the nations where there is no missionaries. There are some absence of missionaries. So after the rally, he discussed with Reverend Hyung-gun Kim, the then continental director. So he gave a direction to fill all the nations where there is no missionaries at the moment, that time. So about a year ago, while preparing before sending missionaries, Reverend Hyung-gun Kim asked some possible membership to be able to available to go as a missionary. So there are some missionaries workshop before all the missionaries were sent out. So this is a national leaders meeting photo just before all the missionaries were sent out. So here's Seti and myself and my wife were sent to decided to go to Samoa. And here is James Bryson. He was assigned to go to Fiji. And Nick and Mine, they were assigned to go to Papua New Guinea. And Abby in Niue, and here is Nelly. She's from Solomon Island. And here is a really young face of Reverend Stone. Anyway, he's Australia, and the Reverend Prentice from New Zealand, national leader, and Barry Noel. I think he's already Vanuatu missionaries for many years. And this brother is Tari. He's he just joined the church in New Zealand about a couple of years before. His origin is Tonga, so he was asked to go to Tonga. And yes, this person is Mrs. Alai. I'm very grateful for Alai family. They're really supporting island nations. So even my missions countries, so many years. So I really appreciate for their substantial support. And the Reverend Son, that time was New Zealand, he's overseeing all the New Zealand activities. Reverend Hyung-gun Kim, Mrs. Kim, and Mrs. Oyamada. She was IW at that time for Oceania, and she came for short time visit with her translator. So this is the last missionary meeting before they were sent out. So couple of months later, I moved to Samoa. So this is the first family that I stayed until SETI comes to Tonga. This is a family that my wife actually witnessed this sister, Aiga, when she was in New Zealand, and also her brother and her mother as well. So that's why we had some connection to this family. So I decided to stay, asked to stay for a couple of months. So this is really typical Samoan lifestyle. Their kids are often naked because it's quite hot. So I also very experienced first time to live in such a very hot country. Even I just lie down, the sweat is coming out. So this is really hot country. So it took quite a time to adjust to this kind of lifestyle. So luckily, this family is quite a good family, quite educated family. Her brother is a medical doctor, and he runs a practitioner center in Apia. So yeah, so I waited a couple of months. I stayed here until SETI comes. So when SETI comes, I moved to his house. And later that, about 10 Japanese WFWP sisters came to join the Samoa mission. So here are some Japanese missionaries. I don't remember, sorry, all names. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but 4 more should be coming later. So this is a small rental center where they stayed. And then a couple of their spiritual daughters. And later on, we had quite a lot of workshop, weekend workshop, 1-day workshop, 2-day workshop. And later on, quite many people came to study divine principle. So even my wife is also giving a lecture. And also later on, the WFWP was registered. So they invited many Samoan ladies. They always, every day, visit house to house, every house, in spite of sometimes they are beaten by dog or quite challenging, very hard, challenging situation. But they really push themselves to visit house to house and invited center to give a lecture. So they did a lot of great works. Yeah. And later on, yes, among all their contacts, they were able to witness to 3 people who eventually went to blessing. So there are 3 Samoan sisters who joined and blessed, matched and blessed. So 2 of them went to New Zealand to attend blessing ceremony under the leadership of Reverend Mrs. Song. And also one sister, she was matched with New Zealand brother. So they went to Korea to attend, to receive directly, to see true parents. And also one more person is Seti and Josephine. So they are also one of the matching and blessed. Also there were a blessing ceremony. Also we, in the locally, we organized for local members. Some members are matched and blessed first time, and some members are already married couple, like this person. They attended locally in Apia. So yeah, so this kind of activities continued until I left Samoa, because around that time also other nations also developing in their witnessing and activities. Also, so therefore, Reverend Hyung-gun Kim, that time continent director, they organized to educate island members to bring to Australia for fundraising and witnessing. So he needed some people to support. So he asked me to come back to Australia to support this Oceania leadership training. Some of old members may know this Oceania leadership training. It's called OLT. So around this time, already many members young members came to Australia, especially like Solomon Islands and PMG. There are many members, young members, came to join. So there was a training center in Sydney, which was taken care of John and Catherine. So they took care of those young missionaries. Always 20 to 30 members were there, and they took care very well. And my responsibility is mainly to take care of their fundraising. So I used to arrange the area and sometimes took them for a fundraising trip, 1 week, 2 week, very different areas. So, and they usually stay about 3 months, because I think 3 months is the maximum that they can stay in Australia. So during that time period, about 1 month is for lecture, study divine principle, and also giving a lecture training. So I also involved in this training session. So it's really, I myself also feel it's very important to go through this kind of training, especially when we are young in faith. So I myself did a lot of fundraising, witnessing when I was young, but fundraising is a really good training to build a foundation of faith. And then on that foundation, we can develop also foundation of substance. So all the training I received when I was young, I really appreciate. There are lots of my elder brothers and sisters always trained younger members when I was in Japan. Many 777 couples, 1,800 couples are our good trainer. Yes, and then about 1 year, I involved in this program. Then I was later on assigned to be a Tonga nation as a missionary, because somehow the Tonga's national leader left there, so there was some vacant. So I was assigned again to a new mission in Tonga. So that was 1997. So the first mission was that I go to Tonga to prepare true family values and blessing ceremony. So before I went to Tonga, there are 10 also Japanese missionaries, WFWP missionaries working so hard, and they really connected to women groups and teaching sewing, how to use sewing machine, and etc. Cooking and teaching Japanese language also. And also they asked one lady, this is Her Royal Highness Princess Nanasi Hau. He is current, now he's Queen of Tonga. But that time, she was patron. She accepted willingly to be a patron of WFWP. So they had a connection, these Tongan, Japanese sisters had a connection to this royal family. And yeah, first my mission in Tonga was with Japanese sisters. We organized True Family Values seminar and blessing, and they invited all the ministers couples to give a blessing. And Reverend Hyung Kim later on came to give a special lecture and blessing ceremony for these minister couples. So this was quite good. Even president of Free Wesleyan Church, these people are all the leaders. They're quite high position of church ministers and their wife. They come together. So after that, yeah, and they also invited ambassador for peace, their contact person, and this lady, she's her name is Kato, and she works as a leader in the Tonga Red Cross, and they have these sisters had a good relationship with her, and at that time her nephew just came to visit to Nuku'alofa Island. So she actually invited her to also join this blessing ceremony. Of course, she's single, but she thought it's a good opportunity, so she invited. So we later on asked her. She's very young that time, only about 20 years old. So we later on asked her to come to study divine principle. So she agreed. She's very happy to study divine principle. So actually she joined the church. So this sister is Tupo. Now she's a wife of, she was matched and blessed with a Leon Pogoni. So they are a very wonderful couple now with 3 wonderful children. So this is her, she's really the fruit of Japanese missionaries' effort. And she's also really dedicated sister. She wanted to go to, she eventually go to New Zealand to start family life. But she really wants to help and support Tonga mission. So she really wants to support me, and she want to do 40 days witnessing condition before she moved to Tonga. So she and myself worked very hard, and she brought many her relatives, good members. So one of them is Ata. She's now in New Zealand. She brought her Ata. She's her relative, connected. So, and Ata joined later. Ata is a really great member later on to support our Tonga mission. So, and later on, I was just, by this time, what's the time now? I have more time. I was just doing by myself because all the Japanese sisters left already for Japan because they had to start family life. So basically, I have to do by myself. So I visited house to house, and I had a very strong agency to register WFWP as soon as possible, so that I can also legally stay. At this stage, I just come as a tourist, but in order to stay longer, I need some sponsorship. That means I need to re-register FFWPU. So we actually organized a small seminar to invite top level people. My idea was to ask eventually to him or her to become my president. So there was a suggestion came to invite one noble. His name is Honorable Beikune. He's a very high level of noble. There are 33 nobles in Tonga, which is like a chief, but they are more loyal to king. So, and they're quite high level people. So even myself, I don't know how to relate these kind of people. Usually common people, commoners don't really even sit together. So anyway, this lady, her name is Miss Sera Naratu. She's also the contact of the Japanese sister, WFWP sister. She's a principal of Queen Sarote College. So she knows Tongan custom very well. So she advised how to relate with a noble. So her advice was very, very good. So anyway, luckily we were able to invite him. So we are not him. We didn't know what kind of person he is. But anyway, we showed him our video and gave some speech. So he was very inspired by this our organization. So he really liked to study more about our movement. So eventually he accepted to become president of FFWPU. So yeah, this was great things. Actually, he's cousin of Queen of that time, so very close to the royal family as well. And then Honorable Beikune also asked Honorable Baron Baya. So he is also very important person of our movement that time in Tonga. So he was prime minister for almost 10 years. And he was a cousin of king that time. So he is one of very most high level of noble. And we invited him to go to Korea to attend ILC a couple of times. And he was very inspired. So he is one of our very important key persons in Tonga for the development. So we organized first international conference, leadership conference in Tonga, first time. So we asked Princess Nanasi to come to give a opening ceremony, opening remarks, and she willingly accepted it. And almost we invited all the member of parliament. Some member of parliament is against government or against royal family. Some are very close to royal family. So there are quite mix of people. So actually during this seminar, because this time like a pro-democracy movement was arising, so the government is really cautious about this opposition member of parliament, what they're doing. So even police, detect came to my house to check what I'm doing this seminar. So I explained that the meaning of seminar, and anyway the police found there is nothing wrong. So actually the seminar turned out very successful seminar. But anyway, it was not easy things to organize the first seminar, because we hire one venue, which is the venue of Free Wesleyan Church College. So we set up everything okay for the next day seminar, but just final minute they canceled the venue because they found out that we are connected to Unification Church. So they totally canceled. So on that evening, we have to shift. We have to find the venue quickly. So we are really lucky that we have found this venue, which is a kind of a Chinese restaurant. So we managed to find a venue, and yeah, also people also came. Yeah, so this is the second conference which was held for the following year, and this was also the very challenging seminar, because the date we held was the 15th of September 2001. So as you know, only a few days before, there was a 9/11 incident in New York. So we prepared everything, but many planes coming from New Zealand to Tonga was canceled. So those people coming overseas, lecturer Reverend Song, Reverend Matsuzaki, those people was very challenging to come to Tonga. So originally we expected Reverend Kwak to come to Tonga, but he thought it's very difficult. If he comes to Tonga, he may not be able to go back in time. So he actually canceled to come to Tonga, but he sent other presenters. So that was the situation at that time. Really, 9/11 incidents really affected. So, but all this program went on according to the schedule, and even His Majesty King Taufa Ahab IV, he came to give a blessing to our seminar, and also Reverend Song and Mr. Yamazaki also visited His Majesty later on. So this is really the work of God working behind. So this is a fourth conference. Also, this one now Reverend Young, together with Reverend Stone, Dr. John, In Sang Woon, we call them Holy Spirit team. So they came to Tonga to give a speech on behalf of true parents. So this was very inspiring conference. And this is a Pure Love OLT. This is a now OLT started originally for missionary training, but later on the name changed to Oceania Leadership Team. So this time this OLT got involved more, even second gens. So they organized to go around the island to educate young people for sexual and moral purity before marriage. So this was very great success. They, with about 10 OLT members, visited almost all high school in Tonga. So one Tonga member helped them to visit, and they are great. They're great speakers. These young second gens. Anyway, almost time. So anyway, Solomon Islands. So I love Solomon Islands. They worked very hard. Yes, all brothers and sisters, they have much more foundation, more mature, and really they work very hard. They take more initiative, sending a fundraising team to Australia. So they're really great brothers and sisters. And every weekend they did a workshop under the leadership of John and Selena. So they really took care of brothers and sisters, and they organized every weekend workshop. And here is Arnold. He joined through this workshop, and now he's a national leader. Amazing. And this young boy is Robert. He's much smaller, but he's also one of members. He really now blessed and have a wonderful family. So yeah, Chris Lee, he's also amazing brother. He always tried to fix many things and good goal boat. He really tried to complete good goal boat. It's not easy things. It's very hot, always hot. And in this situation, he always sweating, but he never complain and try to fix a boat. Yes, and this is the last things I want to share is that, yeah, Dr. Kim, Dong Kim, we really focus on national restoration at that time, because Solomon Islands is a very possible nation. So one time, Prime Minister Dr. Danny Philip was invited to go to Korea for some conference. It's nothing to do with our conference, but we thought Dr. Kim thought it's very good things that while Reverend Dr. Philip was in Korea, all the Solomon Islands delegates should meet or should meet the true parents. So we managed to arrange for Honorable Danny Philip. That time he was Prime Minister. We managed to arrange to invite them to go to Cheongbuk to meet true parents. So Dr. Philip was very humble person. Whatever True Father said, he followed. So even True Father asked him to offer 3 vows, full vows. He did. So he made a great condition for the restoration of Solomon Island. And True Father really loved him. And he said to Honorable Philip, "You are my son. If you follow me, if you absolutely unite with me, lots of blessing comes to Solomon Islands." He really blessed Prime Minister. Yeah. So actually, Reverend Song was in Solomon Island as a national leader, a national messiah. She had a vision that someday for Prime Minister to offer 3 vows. So she had a very strong vision. So he really had a desire for some time. I don't know who will be Prime Minister in the future, but he continued to have this kind of vision. So actually this happened when Danny Philip visited to Solomon Island. So I felt really it's a power of vision. So thank you very much for your listening. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Chihiro, and for your amazing work and effort in the islands, and to give us your testimony. I'll just stop your sharing. Okay. yeah, it's really a great opportunity. We actually run out of time because he spent the whole time. Usually we stop early and have a bit of chance of discussion.
Sorry, I thought I can finish 30 minutes.
I think you could keep going for another couple of hours. It's all right. You have many stories to share and many activities, and you've been a great asset to Oceania and really working in many nations, and still, he has other hidden talents because he's our main musician and training the choir and singing and they were here just the other day getting ready for Sunday service. So I really appreciate and Chihiro for all his work and heart and investment, and to just have his son grow up in the islands and to really experience the whole love for this region. So it's a great opportunity. I know we're way over time, but if there is someone that wants to share something, we can do that. So who would like to make a comment or give some praise to Chihiro because he deserves it? Thank you. Yeah, Greg, go ahead.
Oh yeah, oh wow, Chihiro, Saint Chihiro. Oh my God, how wonderful. Thank you, Chihiro. You're so inspiring to us.
Thank you, Reverend Stone. I'm very amazed you.
And also I see Susan there. Oh my God, this is the history. Where's Mark Burfield? We've got to get all this history down before we pass away. We're getting.
Mark was the national leader of Solomon Island too. I should have mentioned. Yes.
There's so many stories and so much history there. It's got to be recorded. Otherwise, we're going to be leaving this earth and it's going to be lost. Anyway, that's just really encouraged. We've got to get all this history down. Thank you, Chihiro. So inspiring. God bless you.
Thank you. Reverend Arnold, go ahead.
Good morning, Reverend Yutaka and all leaders. I just want to share my experience with Uncle Chihiro. He was such a great uncle. I always look up to him. When he is in the Solomon Islands, he is very humble, quiet, but he's very strong with a church tradition. So one thing I often always remember with him, whenever he really cared about all of us. Whenever we come back from, like, we go out study or we come back, he always asks us about our purity and do we keep our purity, and he often asks me all the time. So I stayed in Enta and sometimes I go study, and whenever I come back, he always took me to the office and asked me, do you still keep your purity for the blessing? So that kind of heart he have for us, he really took care of us, and I really thank him a lot. Every time he stayed up late in the office, sometimes he always he really worked hard for UPF in the Solomon. So during his time, the UPF activity also flourished. Yeah, so thank you, Uncle Chihiro, for your hard work. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I, Reverend John?
We got two people.
Okay.
We actually have a Rex and Santosh. So first Rex and then Santosh. Okay, go ahead, Rex.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Reverend Taka. So, actually, I don't have many things to say with Ankachiro, so but I can just say we miss you, Ankachiro. We
Miss
miss
you too.
we miss you very much. I think what I can say, Ankachiro and myself, we know how
Yes.
we know how we went through. Sorry, we miss you very much. So please, thank you very much. The foundation you led.
You are my Abel.
Yeah. So also our auntie, we know how much she supports you. And I don't know, the Heavenly Parent knows how much you sacrifice your family, sacrifice your wife and your son. I don't know how to express my heart. So thank you very much for, we miss you. Mr. Mark Befield, thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you, Mark.
You people are so dear to Solomon Island. Our Solomon Island ancestors really knows everything, how much you sacrifice your sweat, your life for this country. Thank you very much, Ankachiro. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark.
Thank you.
Of course, I don't forget Uncle John, Uncle Paul. You
Yes.
know Solomon Island, you know. So we are expecting tomorrow the political situation. We don't know what will happen. So please pray for us here. So regard from Mama Nelly and our daughter Mio. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rex. Now go ahead, Santosh.
Yeah, anyway, I must have spoke the same thing again and again, but why I feel to speak again is I have experience, the first-hand experience, the work and investment of Reverend Chihiro in Tonga. Whomever I meet when I go Tonga, that Reverend Chihiro has made impact in that person. I have seen that he had made very deep impact in that person. Myself as a missionary in Fiji for past 8 years, I'm not sure if I have impacted some people like that, but Reverend Chihiro has done that. There are many stories. So even once, and again, I say that after I substantialize my mission, in Fiji, I want to be responsible for Tonga. The foundation that he has laid, that needs to be harvested. So now the political situation is stable in Tonga. We have made some, even I'm not there, but from here, with the help of the regional headquarters, I have made some, revive the foundation that was not in line for a long time in Tonga. But he has done a great job. Thank you, Reverend Chihiro, for your hard work. We really cherish. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
It should be mentioned that Susan was the original pioneer there. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, and thank you, Susan, for joining us here today, and we hope to hear from you next week. Yes, that's ready. So thank you, everyone. We've gone longer than we usually go, and as always, we have unison prayer together. So I'll just share the screen, and then we can pray. I'll just bring it up. Let's pray together. Ju. Thank you, everyone. Saint hero. Thank you, everyone.
Hi,
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah. Have a good day and see you all tomorrow.
Everyone.
Hiro-san,
Thank you, Robert Tucker, came to Oceania. So much. Thank you. Thank you. Chihiro. Manse.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Mrs. Arai. I love you.
Thank you. Monday.
Yeah. Hello, Ma. Hello.
Monday.
Brother and sister. Arai. Arai-san, Mrs. Arai.
See you again, Susan.
Great to see you now.
You know.
Greg, everybody.
I said, now it's very happy to see Susan.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
No, I can't help it.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.